called earthquake lights. And that's something that looks similar to the northern lights, and it's something that has happened before other earthquakes, but no one knows what it is, what causes it. It's being studied to see if it could be some kind of warning sign that could be used to predict big earthquakes, but look at that. Nobody knows what causes that.
That's fascinating.
And we've seen reports of those for decades, really, but no one's actually caught it on tape until just now.
In 1983, I did radio tomography with 30 watts, looking for oil in the ground. I found 26 oil wells over a 9-state area, and 100% of the time was accurate with just 30 watts of power beaming straight into solid rock. HARP uses 1 billion watts beam straight into the ionosphere for experiments. Picture these strings on the piano as layers of the earth. Each one has its own frequency. What we used to do is beam radio waves into the ground, and it would vibrate any strings that were present in the ground. We might get a sound back like, and we'd say, that's natural gas. We might get a sound back like, and we'd say that's crude oil. We were able to identify each frequency. We accomplished this with just 30 watts of radio power. If you do this with 1 billion watts, the vibrations are so violent that the entire piano would shake. In fact, the whole house would shake. In fact, the vibrations could be so severe underground that could even cause an earthquake.
When HARP's broadcast array sends pulses of ELF waves into the ionosphere, the waves get reflected back down and pass through the earth and ocean. 3.6 million watts of ELF waves were purposely or accidentally aimed at an already unstable fault line, cause a tremendous earthquake.
What does it take to trigger an earthquake? The right signal coming in when the pressures are already built up and they're at their threshold.
People need to know that the shaking is not over. We'll get hit again. And it's going to be a bigger monster. The earth will literally crack open. We'll feel it on the East Coast. I cannot emphasize this enough. You need to get out, and I mean now. If you can't, God be with you.
All right. Please turn that off.
Is that an earthquake?
A what? Brendan, stop!
Mom, it's Brenda. They've been in an accident.
What happened? Is Eric okay? We just had a major seismic event. The New Madrid fault is the largest on this continent. We're seeing this much activity. It means something way bigger could be on the way. But there's sinkholes, massive sand blows emerging. None of this is normal. We don't pinpoint where and how these plates are slipping. We're looking at a 10.0 or larger in less than 9 hours.
It'll split the entire continent in half. You should call the governor or have her issue a national emergency.
This earthquake will rip apart the entire country.
I cannot declare a state of emergency on a hunch. Just do the right thing. Look out!
We need to do something.
We confirm the weak spot and relieve the stress along the fault.
No!
We gotta go!
It's too late.
We have to stop this quake. Otherwise, millions will die.
Okay, this map that you're looking at is not a made-up map, by just a nobody. This is the map that you get of the Earth, America, in particular, when you Google New Navy map. This is what you get. And what it is a depiction of a bunch of America underwater, as you can see on the east and the west coast, and then a major crack or a split all the way down up the right side, going through kind of the middle. That is actually the solar eclipse path of April 8th. Amazing, isn't it? But you know, the really amazing thing about this map is that it was created in 1984. Now, how amazing is that this split that goes up the middle of America is exactly the line that the April 8th very popular solar eclipse this year made. But yet this map was made in 1984. Do you think they have a little special knowledge of what they are going to do? Yeah, they sure do. And as you can see, this is a U.S. Navy map. This is not a nobody Joe Schmo map. This is what you get when you type in U.S. Navy map or new Navy map. And of course, when you type in Navy maps in the Gematria calculator, in English Gematria, it equals 666. What are the odds of that? That the words Navy maps equals 666 in English Gematria. And we can't forget the Illuminati card game, discontinued in 1995, and the Earthquake Projector card. The Earthquake Projector card. Now here is the Earthquake card in the Illuminati card game. And it says, Disaster. This is an instant attack to destroy any place. Now wait a second. An earthquake is an attack? How can that be? Well, because of the earthquake projectors that they have. It does not require an action. Its power is 12 against a huge place, 16 against any other place. If the attack succeeds, the target is devastated. If the dice or die roll succeeds by more than 5, the target is destroyed. So clearly they are showing you that they have the power to create these things. So I'll leave you guys with my final thoughts. I used to say that I would not want to be anywhere near the coast in these last days because I know these things and now you do too. Or I wouldn't want to be anywhere near that crack in the map that we saw, which is the New Madrid fault line. Just like in the movies that you saw in the beginning of this video, they mentioned the New Madrid fault line. They mentioned the San Andreas fault line. That's how I used to feel. Nowadays, I don't know, maybe it's just me getting older and not caring anymore. I would say this, that if you're ready, prepared to face these things and to meet your maker, then do what you want. But if you want to make a different decision and move away from these areas, it's not easy to move, I know that, but then do that. I'm simply showing you guys the information. You do what you want with it. I'm not a life coach. All right. God bless.
Tonight, a disaster warning sending shockwaves along the Pacific coast. A 7.0 earthquake striking Northern California, knocking bottles to the floor and doors off their hinges. Here, littering supermarket aisles, making waves in swimming pools.
This is a big one, guys.
And bringing fears of a tsunami.
It wasn't over, in a nanosecond. It kept going and it was building and you hear things falling.
NOAA issuing a tsunami warning for hundreds of miles of coastline stretching from California's Bay Area to southern Oregon. The potential of devastating flooding forcing evacuation orders in California cities like Berkeley and Half Moon Bay. Residents ordered to move inland immediately.
You take cautious steps to protect your safety. So that's why I'm up here at a high point.
The tsunami warnings lifted a few hours after the quake. Today's quake coming nearly 2 years to the day after a 6.4 struck the same area in Humboldt County. 2 died and several buildings were damaged.
Historically, this point just offshore Northern California has had more magnitude 7s than anywhere else in the state because we have 3 different tectonic plates that come together there.
Governor Gavin Newsom declaring a state of emergency for the area.
It's another reminder of the state that we live in and the state of mind that we need to bring to our day-to-day reality here in the state of California in terms of being prepared for earthquakes.